Alrighty everyone, so there's a lot of exciting things happening behind the scenes over at Lucasfilm right now as we speak, between Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, Peyton Reed, and other creators coming on board to really propel Star Wars in a brand new direction. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars updates. Also, by the way guys, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, it is greatly appreciated. Now, one thing about the new universe between George, Jon, Dave, and other creators is that they have all their eyes set on really establishing some of the Legends lore, getting mixed together with the already established canon lore, and how that's really going to balance itself out. Now, we already know that Celebration of next year is going to be a very big deal, not just for the fans who are very much eager to see what happens, but also for the fact of that Disney is embracing all these new announcements because they are actually going to fulfill the roadmap that goes all the way up until 2025 at the bare minimum. It could even go up to 2026. They're really going to show us tons of new releases, when they're coming out, in which order they're coming out, and which shows come out before and or after others. So there's a lot to say about that. However, when it all comes down to one specific project that I believe that a lot of fans are going to rave about, has a lot to do with a fan favorite character in the Star Wars lore that is about to be unveiled next year, and how it's going to actually transfer to a brand new Star Wars show. Let's dive into it. Now, currently, as you all are very well aware, Favreau and Filoni are heavily working on Mando 4, Book of Boba Fett Season 2, and a whole lot of other shows at the same exact time. However, there's a new one that has just joined the roster that is now officially in the early development phase and moving forward. This is kind of parallel to the Bo-Katan series, which, by the way, will be officially announced next year at Celebration as well. Now, with both Disney and Lucasfilm actively developing new Star Wars stories that will be announced by next year, creators Jon and Dave recently made a very big decision for the Star Wars fandom, and how they are going to expand the stories of many beloved characters in the Star Wars universe. Now, it's noted that Favreau and Filoni recently greenlit a brand new Star Wars show that is set to focus on Ezra Bridger in the Star Wars universe. This new Ezra Bridger Star Wars show is going to be considered and treated like The Godfather Part 2, where it will feature two different timelines in the story. One of which is set to focus on the story of Ezra when he was lost in the unknown regions, that will also feature an intense story of Grand Admiral Thrawn. Meanwhile, the other half of the story will take place in present time, that will focus on Ezra, Ahsoka, and the whole gang again, and will hold massive connections to the Ahsoka series. Now let me just pause here before we get into the specifics about what it's going to entail. Now, the Ezra Bridger series actually comes as a big surprise, given that we have yet to have seen Ezra yet in live-action form. In case you guys did not know, in the beginning, Mena Massoud was actually up for the role. It has now been switched over to a specific actor that a lot of fans may not know about. In case you guys are very well unaware, his name is Iman Esfandi, and he looks exactly like Ezra. If you go ahead and check out his facial structure, the hair, it really mimics Ezra Bridger. And you know what? I think it's great casting by Jon and Dave. I think that they did an amazing job. Although I do feel very bad, for the Aladdin actor not getting another role. But moving to the next thing here, alright? This is where things really begin to pick up, is that the Ezra series is not going to be what you think. It's not just going to be about showcasing him in the unknown regions. That will be a part of it all, but let's dive into the specifics here. So, Favreau and Filoni are also using the Ahsoka series to tease the Ezra Bridger show that is set to focus on aspects of Thrawn, the unknown regions, the secret of the dark side, and a whole lot more. Now, they are actually set to feature a ton of new Jedi lore and aspects of the Force that fans have never seen before just yet. The new series is set to also feature Luke Skywalker again in this upcoming installment that they plan to announce at next year's Celebration event that will tell new tales of the unknown regions and the secret connections to the dark side of the Force. One aspect of the show is set to focus on Luke Skywalker aiding Ahsoka Tano to finding her friend Ezra Bridger. Now, for those of you that don't really know about the book, Shadows of the Sith, in there you do learn how Luke is very persistent on trying to uncover secrets of the dark side, specifically unlocking the unknown regions and going over to Exegol. And in the unknown regions, there's a lot of, strange worlds that have deep connections to this thing that is called the Vergence of the Force. In fact, you do see it in The Rise of Skywalker, where Ben Solo lands in that pit. Underneath the surface of Exegol lies the Vergence of the Force, and there's been a lot of teases by Lucasfilm that very thing connects to the world between worlds. So, that brings us to the next scenario here, is that you can see that Luke is very persistent to unlocking secrets of the unknown regions. This fits perfectly in with the Ezra show, and I'm very glad that Luke is coming back again. Also, it has been teased that Mark Hamill is back in the Ahsoka series, as there were a lot of signatures on a chartboard. I don't know if you guys saw that photograph that was actually put out there a couple of weeks ago of the cast signing their names on a chartboard, and one of which had Mark Hamill's signature. So that lines up with some of the leaks of Luke Skywalker playing a role similar to the Book of Boba Fett in the Ahsoka show. Now, with that being said, there's a lot more to this. So, moving on. Currently, Favreau and Filoni are on the hunt for more directors other than themselves. Alright? So, and Peyton Reed is also joining the roster. And to make sure that they will be getting experienced writers this time around for the new show that is going to be considered a very dark and gritty show that will shed more light on the secrets of the galaxy and more to come around. Now, this is a very interesting development because for all of you out there that love the character of Ezra as much as I do, some of you may not, that's fine, but I think that anything that features a Jedi or somebody that's a powerful Force user is always exciting to see, because that means we're going to be getting a lot of the mythology of Star Wars, a lot of the beloved side of the franchise, right? Like all the trilogies of the Skywalker saga and how it deals with that, in a sense. But this is going to deal with it in a more intense way. I mean, this is going into the unknown regions, it's going into the present time as well, jumping back and forth, Godfather Part 2 style, except the same exact character. There's a lot at hand here. Favreau and Filoni are really trying to up the stakes and are really trying to connect each show to spawning another show. And I like that system, I really do. You can see how they're building blocks. They're building things from the ground up. Basically the Mandalorian spawned the Boba Fett and Ahsoka series. Now the Ahsoka series is going to spawn the Ezra Bridger show. And then that Ezra Bridger show could very well spawn another TV show on top of that. So it's kind of like everything is connected like dots. That's how they're kind of treating it. So overall, guys, I would love to hear what you all have to say about this. What do you think about Iman Asfandi playing the role of Ezra instead of Mina Massoud? What do you think about a show all about Ezra Bridger? Is it really for you? Is it not for you? Let me know below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I'm also on Twitter at Mike01 if you guys want to go ahead and check me out, and I'll catch you guys next time.